is the king.
What's good, everybody? It is Capital J Productions. I'm back with another podcast slash video, and today we're gonna get right into it. Um, it is about heaven. Okay, I did a video about hell. It's only right that I do one about heaven. So I will talk about this, tell you guys what I know, things that I've learned, the visions I've had about it, and after that, I'm gonna talk about um a little bit about the future of what I'll be doing after this, and the um the categories and other conversations that I'll be having from here on out. Okay, so let's get started. Now, I wrote a list like always to keep myself in check because, like I said, a lot of these dreams and a lot of this information that I've gotten over the years, you know, it's a lot, right? It took me a long time to gather this information, right? So, and for those who don't believe, I'm not really gonna try to convince you. I'm just doing this for the people who may not know like this information, or people who's too busy living their lives and they will never give God a chance, okay? Because you have to seek out God. God doesn't really seek after you, okay? So I'm creating this for those people who really want to know the truth about life, not not based off of somebody's narrative preaching, which the pastors do every week, right? Not based off of, just what some man wants to promote, or you know, or this man, which is usually a pastor, right? They just talk because they just, they have a not only a narrative, but they have a goal, a personal goal, they, whether it's financial goal or wherever that they're trying to achieve. I'm not here for none of that. Okay. I'm just here to deliver the truth. So let's get started. Who created heaven? Right. So and that's obviously everybody should know God created the heavens. It says it in the beginning of the Bible in Genesis. You can find it. Yes, God created the heavens. There's actually more than one heavens. It's heavens with an S. Okay, so he created all of them. Okay, that's his living spot. That's where he stays. That's where all of his angels were, not were, but are. And yeah, it's just what it is. Okay. So the next one question I have is what heaven is. Okay, so I'll explain to you guys what heaven is. Heaven is a place that God created for the people who will respect him, serve him, and follow him. That's pretty much what heaven is. Okay. It's a wonderful place. It's in my dreams, it's the most beautiful place that I've seen. I've actually had a glimpse of it, and I'll talk about the dreams a little later. Um, but yeah, it's beautiful. It's bright, and it's from what I saw. Basically from one dream is it's a place you really can't miss out. Like if you guys love it here, it's just nothing but good in that place. Okay. Like there's no bad. It's a separation between good and bad. So there's no bad there. There's nothing bad can happen. And I will explain in, more in details when I tell you guys about this. There's a few dreams that God gave to me about heaven. I will talk about that later. So to keep it basic, it's basically an everlasting home. Okay. That's what heaven is, with no cons to it. It's all pros, no cons. Okay, so let's move forward. When was heaven created? Okay, so like I said a bit earlier, it was in the beginning, right? He created it in the beginning. when he created the earth. Okay. And in Genesis, it says, there was multiple heavens that was created. So he created more than one. A lot of people miss that, but you can find it in. I can't remember the verse right off the top of my head right now, but it is in the book of Genesis. So where was heaven created? Okay, now where? This ties to basically what I just said, which is more than one heaven. So I'm quite sure God was in another version of heaven, or when he decided to create these heavens. Not everything is known. Certain things, God is kind of secreted of. He's secretive of. So, something, it's not possible to know all things. Um, like especially for this question, right? Because he never technically told me, directly where was he when he created heaven. No one really knows that other than him. But there are more than one heaven. So maybe his home was, the top heaven, and then everything below him is, the heavens where all the other angels are, below him. That's what I'm gonna go with. That's what the Bible kind of tells us. It has to be something similar to that. Okay. So we're gonna move on for that. We're not gonna spend too much time there. Why heaven was created? Okay. I think that's good to talk about. And the reason why God created heaven and the heavens is for separation. Okay. Separation from the good people, separation from the bad people. Okay. That's the whole reason why he did it. Like I said in the other video, there was a time where he originally made this earth for us to all be together, right? And it was supposed to be permanently. Like this earth was designed to run forever until we sin. And then after that, we had to get introduced to pain, to death, sorrow, that type of stuff. So the reason why he created heaven and he created hell is basically for separations, right? We get to separate from the good from the bad. So that's basically it. I mean, it's very simple. It's nothing complicated about it. It is what it is. It's to separate, the people who want to serve Satan or don't want to serve God at all, who choose to believe in nothing. It's for all of those people. Because God created everything, and if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have anything. If he take away everything that's his, like we would be left with nothing. Probably just, we'll be stripped of the ground. We'll probably just be, in space, floating around somewhere until we explode or something. So yeah. So I mean, he is everything, and but some people don't want that, or they don't want to accept that, or they don't believe in that, and that's fine. They have that right to believe in that, but you just got to understand that what comes with it, if you choose not to believe. Okay. Especially when we have dreams, everybody has dreams, and it's crazy because, I did a video on dreams a long time ago, and, with dreams, it's like you have to really think deep about dreams, but maybe I'll make another updated video about that in the near future. But it's funny how we just accept wherever society says for the most part, right? I don't, but most people do. They just, for the most part, nobody talks about dreams, right? There's nobody communicating about it. There's no one trying to gain a higher understanding of dreams. It's almost like society has just tossed it to the side, or they rather just have you focus on all kind of other BS, other than dreams. And dreams are very important. Dreams are, Dreams that tell you like who you should be hanging around with, who you shouldn't be hanging around with. I've had dreams that told me to stay away from certain people. I've had dreams that told me like, oh, don't go to that party. I have dreams that told me, like, I think it's different. It's different with people. It depends who you are, it depends where you are in your life, and it depends if God wants to come and show you, because God usually chooses his people on who he wants to show, and he wants to educate. He usually do the picking, and he usually do it through dreams. He did it with me. That's how I know. He saved my life. I have dreams that have saved my life. Like if I wasn't paying attention to the dreams, warning dreams, I would have been dead. Like seriously. Maybe one day I'll talk about that. But yeah, so he made it for basically just separation, just to separate the good and the evil. Okay. So he's basically fixing, this is a permanent fix to his temporary problem, which happened with Eve and Adam. They sinned. And so now it's like, okay, now we all get to choose, right? Now we all have to choose whether we're going to listen to God or whether we're going to listen to somebody else. So the choice is yours. We all are here. We all have to eat. We all have to sleep. We all have to work. We all have to, like we all have the same things going on. So it's like our destinations are kind of like the same thing. Like depending on what we do here, our destinations could be the same. For some it's going to be the same. For some it's going to be different. But the choice is yours. So let's move on to the next one. Of course, if you guys have questions about all this, y'all can ask me, and I'll let you know whatever I do know. I don't know everything, but I have been serving the Lord for a long time. I do know a lot more than most. So, and I'm willing to tell what I do know. But let's go to the next one. So how was heaven created? Okay. Okay, so in Genesis, it talks about how God spoke the world into existence, right? And I know from dealing with him, that's what he does. His mouth is powerful, like he speaks it, it becoming into an existence, and that's how he does things, right? So basically, he just spoke it, same powers that Jesus had when Jesus was on earth. Jesus, commanded demons to leave people's bodies. It happened, right? Like he just had all the authority over that's why he was able to help so many people while he was here, so because he just spoke it and it happened, right? He had the same powers as his father. So,
and the beginning and the end.